Okay, on page 4, what you're going to want to do is write down these perfect squares. So I don't know if you want to write them on the top of the page or on the side of the page. It's probably easiest on the far right side of the page. But wherever you can fit them, you'll probably want to access them later. Like, I'll obviously leave that up on the whiteboard. But you're going to need to use those to do the problems for today. Max, I don't think we chose anybody to start the hour for the last 3 weeks, did we? So I was going to pass it on to somebody else, because you've done it for quite a few weeks. Give me a number that is not 26. No, you can't just look. So Libby, you got chosen to start the last 3 weeks. I'm going to assume the very first question probably will go pretty well though. What's square root of 9?
9.
Square root of 9, yep.
81.
That's 9 squared. So square root of 9 means what number times itself is 9?
3.
Correct. So that's the list of the perfect squares over on the whiteboard. If we have a square root of a perfect square, so like square root of the right-hand side, you get the answer that's on the left. Like those are pretty much the ones we've had. And then what we started doing was, if it wasn't a perfect square, you just typed in the calculator and got a decimal. And it's not wrong. But the higher the math class you go, they frequently want to keep using the information, but then they want it simplified is what they call it. So, square root of 18. We want to try to find the biggest perfect number that goes into 18, and it's coincidentally right after the 9 on purpose, right? So 18 is going to be 9 times 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to write the perfect square number first. If you guys are having trouble seeing over here, works pretty good. And then whichever numbers are perfect squares, we write them. So square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 2 isn't a perfect square, so I just leave it. So 3 root 2 is what they would call the simplified answer. And obviously, like, most of the calculators are not going to give you this answer. I don't see anybody with it out. I think that calculator that's the strange blue color and white color, I want to say it will give you this answer. If you just type in square root of 18. Yeah. So some calculators will do it, some won't. Desmos does not give you this answer. Okay. Libby, who are you going to call on?
16.
Over there, I think. Oh, way over there. Oh, I'm way off. Okay, Addie? Yep. So that one's a perfect square, which is directly write the answer right away. The ones that aren't perfect squares are the ones that go a little bit slower. Okay, Addie, who are you going to call on? 13. What were you, 16? 15, 14, 13? Okay, Addie to Addie. What? We want to try to find the biggest number over here that goes into 40. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a large number, but just the biggest perfect square. So in my head, I'm assuming it's 40. I don't think any of these bigger numbers go into 40. Or did I say 40? I think 4. So 4 is gonna be the biggest perfect number that goes into 40. So then what you want to do is, what would it be? 4 times 10. So the second square root number we write would be the 10. And then square root of 4 is 2. So the way these questions kind of boil down is, if it has a perfect number going into it, you do that. And then you write everything else underneath the square root. And it's okay if they don't really make sense, like, I fully understand that these don't seem like they're simplified, like, they 100% seem more complicated than the original problem. But there's a reason we want to write them this way later on, it's because it's easier to combine with other numbers. Okay. Andy, who you want to make? Eli. Square root of 50. Can you tell me how to break it apart? You don't know. The hardest part is trying to figure out what numbers go in your head. So we want to figure out if any of these numbers on the right go into 50. And obviously you can't go past 50. Perfect. 25 is the biggest number that goes into 50. So we would write it as square root of 25, and then it's 25 times 2. So the second square root would be 2. And absolutely, you can use your calculator to try to figure out these pairs of numbers, because not everybody's going to be able to do it in their head.
Can I do something real quick? I have to ask a question.
Okay? Like urgent this second. Did you just walk by or something?
Yeah.
Got it. Eli, can you choose somebody that I'm hoping is just going to be able to tell me how to do this beginning to end? Bridget disagrees. She would like a different number called. So 33. Griffin. I know you got this. What's the biggest perfect number that goes into 45? Wait, did you write these down on your paper? Well, why are you? Everybody sits there and tries to like think of it in their head, and I kind of get that, but honestly it helps if you actually look at the numbers, because then it's like your head can recall the information. So 9. 9 is going to be the biggest number. So then 9 times, what did I write in the second one? Bridget, you can help me. He's backing you up. 9 times what? Or maybe I'll just leave it for the whole row.
5.
Thank you. Okay, Griffin, now that we got this far, how do I write the final answer?
3 square root of 1.
Perfect. Okay, honestly, that's pretty much all the harder of those problems get. Where some people start getting, where some people start getting a little bit confused is if there is a number in the front already. Now these are actually going to work the same. So 7 root 18, I'm going to rewrite the 7, and then I'm going to focus on the square root of 18 and try to break that apart. So, Griffin, pick somebody over here. This side is underrepresented today.
15.
Oh, I have no idea what number. Wrong side.
10.
Charlie, how do I break apart square root of 18? And if you forgot, I believe it is directly above it. Not 6? So 18 is 6 times 3. That part is correct. The issue is that 6 isn't one of the perfect numbers. 9 and 2. Yep. So we're going to say square root of 9, square root of 2. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 2, I just kind of leave on its own. And then I'm going to put together the 7 that was there times the 3 that I figured out. What? What I was hoping you guys could do is try these 3 questions. You can feel free to work with the people around you, but in a couple minutes, we'll call on people to give the answers to these. So try these 3 questions. Look at how excited Sam is that she figured out the first one. Okay, Sam, I'll give you a couple minutes to finish figuring it out. And I'll put you in charge of the negative 6 root 25. You don't have to come up, but you can tell me the answer once you get there. 4 root 40. Let's go with Tegan. 4 root 40. And negative 3 root 50, Maddie. You can be in charge of negative 3 root 50. I wanted to let you guys know ahead of time so you could have time to ask people around you, etc. Yes, you can. Negative 3 root 50. Tegan, you also got lots of people around you too.
Does she have to tell you?
Quite the opposite. If I call on you, it means I like you. And I call on everyone.
Does she have to solve it or just give you an answer?
Aren't those the same thing?
No, she could say the answer and then you can solve it. They can just tell you the steps.
Oh, just the answer.
You're welcome for asking.
So Sam and Tegan, if you didn't hear that, I don't need the steps. I just wanted the answer. You got him? Nice. Is there 2 below? Yeah, no, I didn't think there was. Okay. Oh, shoot. Do we need more 10? Okay, Sam, how about you? You got your answer? Oh, wait, why weren't you asking for help through that time if you needed it? You were?
I see Charlie.
Charlie, help her quicker.
I think Charlie got it.
Okay, Tegan, what'd you get for yours? I think you had this one?
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you get?
I got 6.
I see. Nice, quiet answer you got there.
6.
8.
Huh? 8.
I wrote the answer. Okay, so now what you probably accidentally did was you probably accidentally added the 4 and the 2. So this is going to change into 4 times square root of 4 times square root of 10. That's 2. And so I'm hoping or assuming that you accidentally added the 4 and the 2.
We're gonna act like I can see that.
Why are you sitting back?
Because you put me here.
Do you not recall me saying about 1 billion times, if you can't see, we'll rearrange it or move you?
No, it's fine.
Have you been sitting in the back the entire time and not being able to see anything?
Yeah, until my glasses is fixed.
You guys are in charge of yourself. Do you understand that?
No, not really.
Like, you can't count on somebody like doing things for you and or knowing what you're thinking. You're in charge of yourself. You're responsible for yourself. So take care of yourself and do things that need to be done. That's frustrating. Sam, what'd you get? What'd you say? Oh, that's not wrong. You don't ever have to write square root of 1. So you broke this up into 25 times 1. That is correct, but you don't ever have to do the 1, because square root of 1 is 1, and then you would just be multiplying by 1, so it's no different. So that is correct. I probably wouldn't mark that wrong on a test, you just don't need to do it. Didn't even think of that. So, but very good. Maddie, last one. Oh dear. What did you get? I didn't say it was wrong. I said, where did you get that from? So square root of 50 was broken down into 25 times 2. The 25 was 5, so negative 3 times 5, negative 15 root 2. My guess is some of you will start getting to the point where you can kind of do these in your head, and if you can, that's fine. When we're doing this in Schoology, the test, there's obviously no work. You're basically just going to write the answer. So what I probably have to do for that, though, is make everybody use Desmos, because I kind of figured some of those calculators could do the actual whole question for you. Okay, so what I would like you guys to do is, I think it's page 5. Yes. Do page 5, which I actually think will go very fast. If you don't finish it today, none of this is intended to be brought home. We are going to get time to do all of it over the course of whatever days we're going. Oh, okay.